In this tech tip, we're going to learn about backing up SOLIDWORKS PDM Professional. There's a couple key attributes to consider, and there are several things that need to be backed up. There are three main parts of the PDM that need to be backed up. You have your SQL databases, which can be a couple of different databases, the archive server settings, and the archive folder. So to back up the SQL databases, you first need to log into the SQL Management Studio. You'll then want to make sure you're logging into the correct database, and you would like to use the SA password and the SA user. This is the default account that you use when installing Microsoft SQL. So as soon as you log in to this particular server, you're then able to then look at the databases, and essentially you can see the different databases you have. So the two-part process here is you have your actual Vault databases, and then you have the Kinesis master database. You can, one at a time, right-click on these, go to Tasks, and simply say Backup. Now this is a more manual process where you can back up each database. You pick a prescribed location where you're backing it up to. Is it full, differential? Full is obviously the most recommended method. And then you can go ahead and have it do a verification and different options as you want to as well. The preferred method, though, is to go ahead and set up, under Management, the ability to do a maintenance plan. So this is actually a nice wizard utility where you can come in and set up a maintenance wizard plan, where you can then go through and have the utility set up a maintenance plan for PDM backup. You tell it how you're going to run. You can even go into a more description and even schedule a task to run nightly, hourly, however long you'd like to, setting up a schedule in many different options. You can then come in and tell it what you'd like to do. So first of all, we're going to come in and set to do backup. Some of these other things are also very nice to do on a periodic basis as well. We then go through the options of setting up the organizer of the task, what the process order is, which database or databases we want to pick, and just to be safe, all databases, it's not going to hurt you to grab them all. This way, any new databases that are added from this date forward are automatically copied. We're going to back up to a disk. We want to set the destination where the disk is going to go. So we want to then, I wouldn't use this by default, maybe some sort of temp directory on a drive that you can easily back up. And you go through this process of where to do it, where it's going to write the log file, where it might send an email to report that this was done successfully. And then you can come in and quickly finish up the plan, making sure everything goes smoothly. This is simply making sure that all can happen. And then if you need to, you can run it by simply expanding the maintenance plans and tell it to go ahead and run the report. You can then also, with the schedule, just make sure it's verified and go log into it the following day. So there's step one, getting your SQL backed up, which can easily be done through a maintenance routine. Secondarily, you want to go ahead and open up your archive server. The SQL and archive server can be on different machines, but they are usually on server machines. So while you're in here, you're simply going to make sure you look at the correct archive. You then go to Tools, Backup Settings. When you pick the backup settings, you can simply say which vault or vaults to include. Tell it what your location for your backup location is, and then simply also load in a password if you choose to password protect it. And then you can also here set up a schedule as to how often and how frequently it occurs. These databases and the SQL databases, the closest they can be to the same time, you're going to get less problems with fidelity. So once you set that, this runs very quickly as well. The last step was actually barking up the archive folders. So when you set up and install your archive server initially, your data vaults are going to be on a specific drive on the server. In my example, my vault server happens to be my same C drive here, and I just created a directory called PDMP, and this is where my hexadecimal folders are. PDM Professional breaks up the entire database as far as the files into hexadecimal format for quick and easy finding through the database. It is not intended for users to be browsing through these folders looking for data. So you would need to take these folders or even the root folder and periodically copy them. Now this is a completely manual process, but there are significant tools out there, most of them inexpensive or free, where this can be done automatically. And then you would typically back these all up into a temp directory and then back that up onto some sort of external source, be it the cloud, an external hard drive, and you want to do this frequently, keeping some of these records off-site in case there's some sort of catastrophic issue with the building or facility that this information is stored into. I hope you enjoy this session. I hope you find it useful. Thank you very much.